Orla, what have you made of St. Pat's this year? Again, I suppose they're
Bitter and twisted.
bitter. Are they the Spurs of the League of Ireland? Always thinking they're going to reach the top, but very rarely get there.
Thanks, right.
I really like Pats. They're probably one of my favourite Dublin teams.
That's because they're not a threat, Orla.
Because we were always beating them. It was a nice drive up. It was an hour. You got really good parking outside, straight in with the kids. The chips were decent. You're not sitting really back. You're kind of on the pitch when you're in your seats. And we always came away with a win. So yeah, there's been a lot to love it. It's going to come.
Really selling the club's potential futures.
I really recommend it for there. I mean, losing Stevie was a massive blow to his, but I mean, and things could have really kind of went pear-shaped, couldn't they? But I think he's really held your own. It's been quite impressive. Good new manager in, and yeah, I think.
Does the manager need time, Orla?
Not if he's deep, not one that spent a bit of time around League of Ireland. If you've been around the houses, you don't. He's a good manager, and he's
is he getting the most out of the team then, Orla? That's probably more of the question.
Yeah, I think maybe your squad needs a bit of strengthening up, but. Yeah, I mean, just some good signings, I think, and you could see maybe some better results for them kind of going forward. Pats will never be down the bottom,
No,
maybe they'll get up the top. Who knows? But they're not an easy team to play. They never have been, but it's always been a really kind of fair and kind of balanced game. I always enjoyed watching the Pats game, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's probably, Nathan, when you look at Pats, and I'll let you have your say on it before we move on. They've just let probably too many of their sort of better quality players go and haven't replaced them. And just players win you games and players win you titles, and when they have that quality.
Even just go back to the spine of the team, and even on cup final day, actually, great example. Like Vitas Labiaras, the goalkeeper's gone. Paddy Barrett's out with a long-term injury. Lee Desmond's gone. James Abankwah has just left. He's gone over to Udinese. Robbie Benson's gone back up to Dundalk. Even like Sam Bowen, John Mountney, lads that utility players more than anything else, but really good standard of players. These have all left in the off season, so you can't lose that many players, and of course lose a top manager, which what Stephen O'Donnell is. So close to see. I think people tend to forget that all the Stephen O'Donnell leaving and going to Pats and Tim Clancy coming in, it really didn't leave him with a lot of wiggle room in terms of a lengthy pre-season and bringing the right sort of players in. I think there's still players there that might be technically Stephen O'Donnell players that he might have even signed, expecting to be there with this season in the Pats hot seat. So it's going to take. I think it will. I do get Jermaine all of that, though. An experienced manager around the league like him that has been successful and won the fourth division, and he really set this ship. I dropped it last year. I still think you need to give him at least a good season to really get his teeth into this job. I think again people forget that Stephen O'Donnell, after his even actually his first year in the job, people have called him for his head, because of similar issues to what Tim's going through now. So I really do. I don't see any sense in getting rid of Tim in the next year or so. He's definitely just been some issues there with him in terms of just you look at him with some decision making, substitutions, change of formations. They do have to fall on the manager as well, but they don't justify getting rid of him, to me.
Yeah, and they will have a winter there where they can get players in and build onto that, and that's really where all these teams are. You need to build a good squad together over that pre-season, especially the likes of Pats, if they want to challenge. They're going to be in and around the European spots, but if they want to make it comfortably, but if they want to actually put a challenge in, like last year, I think, Nathan, if Stephen O'Donnell was in that position, it's a different season this year.
Yeah, like if Stephen was still a Pats this year, I think so. Yeah, I think they'd be really pushing this year, especially with they would have been going through that long-term change. The foundation would have been there with Stephen, and the building blocks would have been set. I think that they really would have been. I know they did finish up second last year, but they didn't push Shamrock Rovers at all last year. They just finished second, more so in position than anything else. It never really looked too close to really win it. But yeah, I think they would have been serious contender. I think they would be where Dundalk are this year, really on the tails of Shamrock Rovers, and I do think that's where the Dundalk are.
Yeah,
the most viable threat.
Yeah, I see why you're bitter now. All right, yeah. Okay.